It's because we're making a lot of excuses on both ends. In both situations, we're making a lot of excuses. And we just got to put our big boy britches on and our big girl britches on and just do what needs to be done. That is it. Moving on. Hey y'all, thanks for hanging out with me today. Today we're gonna react to a show called Maxed Out. This is a show where a financial planner comes and talks to people who are in kind of like dire straits with their finances and helps them kind of get out of the hole and figure out how to budget and build for the goals they want to do. So I'm pretty excited about this one. So let's go ahead and get started.
Leah Collins, and I'm a financial relationship coach.
But I heard you're good.
I'm pretty good.
One person has nominated someone in their life who is drowning in debt. I help people take control. Let's break the bad habits that are holding us back and keeping us maxed out. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Today I'm going to meet Corey and Nina. Corey is a local truck driver, and Nina is a stay-at-home mom to two beautiful girls. Corey nominated Nina because he feels like she's out of touch financially and maybe just a little complacent. This is very common with couples where one focuses on the earning and one focuses on the spending, and they end up on different pages. But that's okay. I am here to help them get on the same page and create financial harmony. Let's do it.
Let's get it like, let's get it, let's get it, let's.
I'll stop and say, like, I really like this concept where we kind of like go in and look at everybody's like finances, talk to everybody and see what's going on, and kind of like go from there. I think this is probably a better method than Caleb Hammer, if I can be really honest with you. So I'm really excited to see what happens here.
Get it, let's get it. Let's get it, let's get it. Let's get it, let's get it.
Corey?
Hi!
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, a pleasure. I love your home.
Thank you, thank you. We try to keep it clean.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Oh, I can't complain.
What's going on? Tell me.
Long story short, I think my wife is draining me. She buying a lot of unnecessary things. She buying a lot of knick-knack paddywhacks. A lot of things that it may seem small at first, but they just keep piling up. Hundreds of.
Okay, so he's saying like my wife buys a lot of things, a lot of knick-knack paddywhacks, and they're kind of showing it around the house, and I can honestly say like it doesn't look like anything super crazy, maybe a little unnecessary, maybe if you got a lot of debt, but like it doesn't look like anything super crazy like or super expensive. So I'll start there.
$1 purchases.
Are you involved with the management of the finances? How does that work?
It's kind of like I pitch her the money, but then when I hear stories like we can't afford this, it makes me wonder, why not? No.
Oh, okay. He gives her all of the money, so presumably she's handling the actual paying of bills and whatnot. And then he's saying what's happening with the money. That to me tells me that he's maybe not as involved in the bill paying as much, which means that he may not know what all it takes to make their household run, in terms of their daughter's needs, just regular bill paying and stuff like that. So I'm already a little bit like, we've a little bit thrown her under the bus here, it seems, and maybe we don't know what's going on. Let's see.
I make pretty good living. Why can't we do these things? And then I come home and see Amazon boxes.
All right. I love to see what Nina has to say about this.
She probably gonna tell you it ain't true, but I'm telling you.
How does she feel about being nominated?
I don't think she really knows. We talked about it, but I don't think she really think I'm committed to actually going forth with it.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a little bit of a surprise, I think, but this is how serious I am about it.
Hey, Nina, can you come here real quick? I got somebody I want you to meet.
Hello.
Hi, how
Hi,
are you?
I'm Nina.
Nice to meet you, Nina. I'm a hugger.
Oh, hello.
That is our financial advisor.
Ooh.
You've never done anything this quickly.
I am very
before.
serious.
Okay. So how much has he told you?
Not much. He said that he is a little concerned with the spending. He doesn't really understand where all the money money goes. He's trying to figure out if he makes enough, if it's a spending issue.
Can we pause? Can we back up real quick? Are you making the statement that I am mismanaging money?
No, you're not mismanaging, because that makes it seem like you're doing it on purpose or you don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying you're fully aware of what you're doing, just may not know the effects of what you're doing.
Oh, okay. So based on her reaction here, he says that they talked about it, but she didn't really know this was happening. And the way her reaction is like, how much has he told you? And are you saying that I'm mismanaging funds? They are clearly not on the same page here, and that is not a great start. And I would honestly, I would say that the fact that they're not on the same page here, there's a good indication that they're probably not on the same page with the finances, coupled with the fact that he said, you know, I hand her the money, she pays the bills, and then she'll tell me like there's not enough money for XYZ, and I'm wondering where all the money's going. I think that probably is indicative within the first 5 minutes of this that this is a huge issue. This is a huge part of the issue. So, ooh, yeah. Watching this is making me cringe because she's clearly like a little bit blindsided here, so feel for her a little bit.
I am radiating with heat. I am just livid. The audacity that he has the nerve to nominate me after I manage the household and make sure he has clothes on his back, shoes on his feet, food in his baby's mouth, and he nominates me.
We talked about it. We had the conversation. Do you think we need a financial advisor? I always hear you not take the lead. I always hear you're not here to do anything. All this is on me. So I was like, the least I can do now is call a financial advisor to see if there's some mismanaging of the funds. I'm trying to make sure ain't no numbers doing magic.
Oop, I've paused it on an ad here. But yeah, I think
Mashed potatoes.
I think he's not wrong either. Like if they're not on the same page, there's no harm in like calling a financial advisor and being like, hey, what are we doing wrong? Is there mismanaging of the funds? And it's a very like strong, bold statement that I think she might be taking a little personally because she is, the bill payer and who is managing their funds. But that could be as simple as like, how do we maximize our credit card payments? Can we cut back anywhere that maybe both of them have missed? So I don't think that's really necessarily like a bad thing, but clearly they're not on the same page, so that is a huge problem.
That's all I'm trying to do. Make sure ain't no numbers doing magic.
You think it's coming off the top?
Hey, you said it.
Oh, wow.
You said it.
Oh, wow.
Take that back. Scratch that out.
You got my eyebrow twitching. We have been together overall 16 years. In college, he had a body, okay? He had an 8-pack, he was young and tender, and he had a butt, so that was my thing.
Originally, I did not like Nina at all because her ex-boyfriend was a friend of mine, so I never looked at her in that way until I looked at her in that way. Me and her share a degree in business, so it forced us to spend more time together. And as time went along...
Enemies turn lovers.
We've been married a grand total of 10 years.
And we have 2 beautiful little girls.
I'm a freelance commercial truck driver making anywhere between $60,000 and $70,000 a year. So our household is a one-income household provided by me.
Except yours truly, because I donate to that income. I am full-time stay-at-home mom, but I'm also a freelance voice actress. We wouldn't survive if I didn't actually chip in.
Okay, stopping here. I am not a fan of the fact that he said, I make X amount of money and our house is a one-income household provided by me. And then she's got a whole side hustle here, and that's, maybe she makes a small amount of money, but it's still money, like contributing to the household. So I'm a little bit like, that's not very nice to like discount your partner's contributions to the household.
Do you have an idea of your monthly expenses?
Do you have an idea?
As the person who makes the money, I expect the expenses to be paid.
Okay, so that's a no. Do you know?
I know, it's about $3,300.
About $3,300? So who would you say is the spender or the saver? You'll probably say she's a spender, I'm
I wasn't.
assuming.
I'm also
about
the
you, Nina?
saver.
Okay.
He knows how to make money, but he doesn't know how to save money.
Which is interesting that you say she doesn't manage the money well, but you're not really involved in the management of it. So that's something.
Bingo. So he automatically is making comments and doesn't know where the money's going or how much their bills are. So again, it's a little like I don't like that very much. So he's like, she's spending all this money. Yeah, for your house. And and I would not be surprised to find out if there's like some unnecessary spending happening. I mean, he did talk about Amazon boxes being like lined up at the door, but that also could be their groceries. It also could be things for their daughters that they need. Like, we don't know enough at this point, but what we do know is that he is not handling their finances. So for him to come in and say, like, oh, the funds are like just disappearing is uninformed at best and a little insulting at worst. So.
We're going to
Oh, we can
get into.
I am not particularly financially involved with the budgeting because I'm not home.
What does you having to be at home anything to do with you making a financial plan? Like, you think you're the only guy that goes to work?
Most people work.
To me, it's an excuse.
Right.
I go to work. Because if I went to work, I would have to still do the expenses, the kids, all of that. Like, now it's 365, 24/7.
Right, you don't get a break.
And then you have a partner who has abdicated responsibility and involvement. It's on you.
What if something were to happen to her? Do you know who your cable provider is? Would you even know how to pay that bill?
Oh, absolutely. I ain't like a Neanderthal. I'm not a
He
Neanderthal.
just got, that's
Right,
the
I'm not a
one bill that
Neanderthal.
comes to his email.
Right.
Do you know the water?
I do not know the water.
Do you know the energy? Who are we with?
Who are we with?
Do you know who our mortgage company is?
Round Rock.
No. Do you know who were the kids set up with when it comes to recreation?
Do you know?
No, I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing because they're right. What if something happens to her? Like she, God forbid, she gets into an accident, or I don't know, they divorce, or like anything happens, and he'd be SOL. He would not know what to do. Oh my goodness, that is not good. I mean, he's grown. There are no excuses for that.
That's why it's important for you to be involved. I recommend that couples have money meetups at least once a month, just to make sure that both parties understand the money coming into the household, the money going out. Make it fun. It could be kind of like a date night. Do it over coffee, over a glass of wine. Planning your financial future can be romantic. What?
Only to somebody who
It is. If you're thinking about your goals and your future and buying a house and having kids and how you're going to do, how is that not fun and romantic? What? Maybe it's just me.
No, I love it.
You mentioned the voice artist
Yes.
passion. Do you currently get income from that, or how does that
I
all
do.
work? Okay.
I do get income from voice acting.
Okay. About how much?
Between 20 to 35 a year.
It's not on the consistent.
Okay, yeah. Now it's extra not nice that he was saying like I'm the only income because 25 to 35 a year is how much some people actually make in a year. Like only. So she has brought in like an extra salary's worth of money basically. So understandably it's probably not consistent, but it is extra money. It could be extra savings, extra debt payments, and it's a hefty amount of a chunk of change. So the fact that he was saying like, there's only one income is not very nice. It's discounting what she's done for the family.
Basis to where it can be beneficial. Like, I can appreciate the months when you may bring in 4, 5, 6 grand that month. It's the 4 months after that where I get $200 for that month.
And you have a management degree?
I do, business management.
okay,
So
right.
I wanted to go back to work after I had my first kid, but it was just a circumstance that happened.
I wanted her to be a stay-at-home. I'm proud that she's a stay-at-home mom because I don't trust people with my kids. And at the time, I made enough for us to thrive off of
it has changed.
and then be able to do what you call it. Because I'm taking pride. Excuse me. I made enough for us to live off of, survive off of.
He grew up in the hood and like that's not my base.
Okay.
I grew up suburban. My base is like, 3-story house. You have 2 cars. So when my expectations become higher, he thinks of it as like, man, that's astronomical.
She can have $1 million.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point to bring up, like your background and maybe traumatic experiences surrounding money, or the fact that you had enough money growing up really informs how you view money and how you spend it, how you save it, what you think is acceptable to spend on. And I can speak from I've had multiple positions in my life where like sometimes we had absolutely no money. There was a time in my life where I was afraid that we were going to be homeless, and then as I progressed in my life, things got a lot better. So it's interesting as someone who's had both perspectives of like extreme financial insecurity, but then also having, being able to go on vacation, not being rich by any means, but like being able to go on vacation, having all of your needs met, like being in those different positions, how each of those things affects you differently. And I can tell you from that time in my life where things were financially insecure, that there's still all of these years later, even though things are much better for me now, that I am like, well, what if something goes wrong? I need to like save every penny. I can't spend money on XYZ thing because what if something goes wrong? So it's interesting because they're coming from two different frames of reference here, in terms of their upbringing. So it probably is creating some disconnect on how they would like to manage the finances and what they would like to spend on.
But if $1 million ain't gonna cover what she wants to do, she's broke.
It's just a difference in compatibility there is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
Okay. What are your 3 main goals?
Financially, to be able to be at a point where I don't have to second guess going grocery shopping. I want to be able to have a vacation once a year, and I want a bigger house. I want us to be able to dream bigger and set bigger goals for ourselves. In the next 1 to 3 years, I would like a 4 to 5 bedroom house that has soundproofing for my voice acting and a 2-car garage.
And his and her sinks. Got to have.
I don't think that those are bad goals at all. I do think you could see, before they got to this little interview thing where they were sitting at the table with the financial planner, she's talking about like wanting to not second guess groceries and things like that. And you can see kind of a little bit of the something in his face, like where it's like maybe some anxiety, and how you could see that I'm interpreting it that as he looks at himself as the provider and maybe feels like he's not um providing as well as he should. And I think like all of these goals that she wants to obtain, like a bigger house and the soundproof room, he said his and her sinks. I think those are fantastic goals for them to reach, and they just got to get their money in order. They got to get on the same page, really.
Have the his and her sinks.
Well, I have a little homework for you all.
Joy.
This is my Money Moves Makeover Workbook, and I want you to identify your 3 main values. And once we do that and I receive your financials, I am going to determine if your spending aligns with your values. Okay?
She gave us homework.
She gave us homework. I'm studious, so I don't mind homework.
I didn't sign up for that. I'm thinking you finna.
Financial security and budgeting and all of that stuff is work. There is not going to be a way around setting a goal and figuring out how to get there, because if you don't do things like that, then you are going to miss the mark every single time. So unfortunately for all of us at home, it is going to be a little bit of work just to sit down and figure out like, what are we spending? Where can we cut? What are my goals? How do I get there? That sort of thing.
To come in and be like, hey, do this, and we out. Nina, cut out the knickknacks and we gonna be straight. She got me doing investigation. I don't know if I like that part. I'll call you.
Oh, you thought she was gonna be on your team.
Oh, 100%. 100%, I ain't gonna lie to you.
There are 2 sides to every story.
The tables have turned.
I've been on a roll, I've been doing big things. Not in it for the money, I've been chasing my dreams. Pop up on the scene, doing my thing. Up's where I'm going.
Hello.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you?
Doing good, how are you?
Good.
Our marriage is still together.
Good. By the hair of his chinny chin chin.
After reviewing Corey and Nina's bank statements and their financials, I have a game plan that I would like for them to consider. I'm just not sure how receptive they'll be. Thank you for sending over your financials. I'm to review them, and I really want to show you all the reality of what your income is.
Reality sucks. It look real good when she
We
do
going
it.
to a Pablo.
Combined, this is your income, which is about 65,000.
That ain't right.
Okay, so I'm stopping here because um basically their income says 65,000. And so at the beginning he was saying he makes 60 to 70,000 a year, which this kind of falls in line with that. But then she was also saying that she brings in 25 to 30,000. So I was expecting closer to like maybe the like 90 to 100 like range. So I'm wondering if they were like really off when they were calculating their income, which is a huge deal because if you think you're making more, then you're gonna spend more, and that might be why they're in some of the situation that they're in. So I don't know. Let's see.
And next, I want you to see your debt.
Oh, no, that ain't gonna look good.
No, that ain't gonna look good at all.
We talking about total sum.
Your total debt, your liability.
Oh no.
Here.
Come on now.
Oh
Your
gosh.
total debt is $250,000
Ooh.
compared to your income of about 65,000.
I'm overwhelmed.
Are you shut up.
That's $250,000.
This feels suffocating. I didn't like that. I didn't like the visual. I wanted to turn the table around and say my debt is my income and that is my debt, because that's really what it probably needs to be. It can't be the other way around.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's a big number. And I really like how she came and did the visual for them. Like she grabbed all that money and was like, this is your income and this is your debt. Because I think that people sometimes need a visual to kind of like really get the big picture. I think particularly with debt, you can basically like get lost in like how many different accounts you have, like maybe some of it's mortgage, some of it's credit card, some of it's medical debt. But I think that like putting it all in one spot and looking at it really shows you the magnitude of what you're dealing with. I think the at-home version of this for us, because we probably all don't have access to like fake play money like just in a drawer in our house. So you probably could like add it all together and then put it in a bar chart in like Excel or something like that where you see like income versus debt. Hopefully it goes income debt, but if you can see it where you're at, you can kind of see the ratio a little bit better. So you can kind of have like the same realization as them if it's that bad for you.
In addition to this, I also looked at your expenses. You mentioned during our last session that your expenses are about $3,300 a month. It's actually about double that.
Stop. What are we counting?
Insurance payments, church, I saw church, tithing, your cars, right? A lot of alcohol expenses.
That's true. That's facts.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to quit drinking.
He'll say that today and then be back 2 months later.
You are 100% correct.
The one thing Corey's not giving up is his alcohol.
You right about it.
I don't
Not really a big fan of that. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with having a drink every now and then or socially or whatever, but it is not good for us. And like, she just got done showing them their income versus their debt ratio, and their debt is really high. And so we kind of need to just put our big boy britches on and just do what needs to be done here, which would mean alcohol is not essential, so cut it out. But yeah, not a fan of that.
disapprove of it.
That's the vibe I got.
Listen, I don't disapprove of you drink alcohol, because I drink alcohol too. I just wish we had more funds to have other luxuries like date night, because it's really important to me.
You actually love me. I appreciate that. I really do.
I want you to identify where you can cut spending, but for the most part, you're pretty good at managing your finances.
Great job, man.
Yeah. It's really an income issue.
Hearing those words, gut punch. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. I feel like we've gone through this so far, and he basically kind of called the financial advisor in thinking that it was a spending issue on the wife, but we're starting to look at like hey, this is not a spending issue. She just said, you're managing your finances well and it's an income issue. And I think like because he's in charge of the income and he's a man and traditionally men are, more the providers of the family, the income, that sort of thing. This probably did not sit well with him. But I think it's good to have like a really like neutral third party kind of look at things and say, I don't care about like your biases, your opinions. I just have the numbers and I'm just going to tell you straight up like what's going on here. And it's an income issue. It really helps kind of um, eliminate some of those things that we want to kind of bury our heads in the sand for, and just kind of be like, look, this is the general problem, and I'm sure that's uncomfortable. So, and I'm sure they're gonna have to make some uncomfortable changes to kind of get out of this situation. So,
The median household income in Dallas is $145,000, and you all make less than that. And you're supporting a family of 4. So I think we need to start there to figure out how we can generate more income into the household. Corey and Nina's expenses are pretty on par for a family of 4.
all right, let's stop here. Okay, so utilities, they're spending $395 in groceries. It's $600 a month. So, let me know like where you are. Do these feel like normal numbers to you, or does it feel high? For me, it feels like in my area, this is pretty normal. They have quite a bit of car insurance and not car insurance. They have quite a bit of insurance, period. So it's car insurance, life insurance, and health insurance, and home insurance. So it's nothing crazy. I mean, I do think they need life insurance because they have kids, so just in case anything happens. And cell phones, church tithing, and liquor. So really the only things on here that I would say that you could probably like near immediately reduce is maybe the cell phone. I know myself, I went down from paying like $90 a month to looking into those smaller brands like Mint Mobile, Visible by Verizon, those sorts of things. So I went down from paying to like $80 to $90 to like $25, and I'm getting like the same, basically the same plan. Like I am getting like the unlimited data and stuff like that. So I just switched from regular Verizon to Visible by Verizon. So I believe it's on the same network and stuff. So I would say, look into that if you're able. And then church tithing. I feel like that might be like a little bit more of a touchy one because for some folks, religion is extremely important. So I would say that like, could we maybe decrease this versus getting rid of it just for now while you pay off your debt? And then liquor, of course, like I said, that's a non-essential. So I think we should just cut it out. But we'll see.
Their total monthly debt is about $2,350.
All right, let's look at the debt. Okay, so mortgage is $1,100. That didn't feel like too crazy for me. Car loans, it says they have 2 and they're paying $700 a month. And so I don't know if that means like he's a freelance truck driver, so maybe he's paying for his work truck maybe. So maybe they have a work vehicle and a family vehicle. I don't know. They haven't told us, of course. But if if they can get rid of one of those vehicles, I think they might should look into that. And then credit cards, of course, is $550 a month. They need to get that lower, get that out of here. But yeah.
After reviewing Corey and Nina's values and goals, it's clear that they want that bigger home in the near future. However, they have to lower their debts and increase their income in order for any of that to happen. And they're only paying the bare minimum on their credit cards, and at this rate, they'll never get out of this debt.
I guess I could try to work 80 hours a week instead of
It's
7.
not even about increasing your hours. We're just not making enough. But the expectancy of our relationship was that he would get into accounting.
When I graduated college, I graduated with an accounting degree. I did accounting for maybe my first 3 to 6 months after college. Completely hated it. If I would have stuck with accounting, I'm pretty sure that I'd be making well within 6 figures, comfortably, at this point in time.
And we could have been more successful than we are now.
Yeah, I think like you can kind of see in his eyes that there's a lot happening mentally here where like I feel like if I was faced with a situation of like I had an option that made a lot more money and I just didn't like it and so I did something else and I've of course put my family in this situation because of that, where we're not making enough money. Um, that would do that. I would be very disappointed in myself. So I think he's starting to have like a little bit of this reckoning of like, I thought we were fine and we're not fine. And a large part of the issue is like my part of the equation, the income. So I really do feel for him because I think he's probably having like a lot of like his mental thought on this situation is starting to shift and maybe putting some blame on himself. So I think that's pretty rough. So I feel bad for him.
Wish it was just as simple as, hey, get out the truck, use your degree. But even when I was trying to get the first accounting job, it was always, you ain't got no experience.
Do you have an issue with her going back to work?
No, if that's something she wanted to do, I definitely support her doing it. It's really...
What was that face for, Nina?
Because she doesn't want to go.
What about remote jobs, remote opportunities? Is that something that you would be interested in?
I got my certification in medical coding and billing.
Okay.
So the caveat is when you first get your certification, you have an apprentice on it. So you need like a lower level job. I need $20 an hour to justify walking out of my house. Everything logistically has to match up with his schedule, my schedule, what the kids need.
People do it every day. They can do it.
Yeah, she said people do it every day. I agree. I think there are people in situations like they just like don't have a choice, like maybe a single mother or you just have got to make money, you're the breadwinner in your house and they just figure out a way to do it. At the beginning of this episode, he said that Corey said that he brought the financial advisor in, and something he mentioned was that he thought that Nina, his wife, was a little bit complacent, and I think I see that a little bit here, where there's a lot of like excuse making for not going out and getting a job. And now, of course, like they have children. I made a video last week about like the childcare costs in America and how absolutely bananas it is. So that is something to consider. But I do think that, there are people who do it every day, do stuff like this every day, and like maybe they need to be getting a little more creative. Like he's a freelance truck driver, so maybe they can work out a schedule where she can work, he's at home with the kids, and they kind of like trade off shifts, where one of them's at home, the other one's at work, keep going that way. But I understand that there's a lot to worry about in terms of childcare, but like there are people that do this every day. And so it feels like there's some excuse making here.
You can do it.
No, I do not want to go back to work at all because what's going to happen to my kids? I'm a mama bear first. I have to know that they're good, they're taken care of, and childcare is astronomical. So that's the real weight.
I'm a single mom. I do have a strong community where I live. Every job that I've received actually has always been through someone I know. So it's very important to get out there, go to networking events, make those connections.
Because we're not finding.
I do want to stop here just to talk about that thing that popped up on the screen and the thing she's saying where it says like 85% of jobs in America are gotten through networking. I think that's really like an important stat to share with people just so they're aware that like, just putting yourself out there and like going to talk to people and doing the messaging, we're looking for mentors and stuff like that is important, especially as you are a young professional and trying to grow. So that's really interesting that they included that in there.
Financially where we need to be, I almost feel like I can't even afford to have friends because it costs to go out. I do hear you on the
like a lot of excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It sounds like a lot of excuses, and like I at least a little bit get what Nina's saying, and I agree to a certain extent for the beginning of friendships, maybe because like when you typically meet people, you're gonna meet them maybe in a social space like a restaurant or something like that. But once you get to know people, why could you not have them over? Like have things like potlucks or like something, or like take your kids and their kids to the park, more free like type of activities or low cost activities. I don't think it has to be rocket science. I do think that we've all gotten a little bit not spoiled, but I think the expectations of social gatherings has gone like way up here for our generation, when probably what happened was our grandparents and older generations probably just had people over for dinners and Like come to our kids like backyard barbecue birthday party, like that sort of thing where you don't have to spend a lot of money and that I don't know. Maybe we should go back to that because I mean I think it depending on the crowd you're going in, she's right, but it doesn't always have to cost money to make friends.
A lot of reasons, girl. The logistics.
People do it all the time. You're more than capable of doing it. Y'all are both very intelligent,
Yep.
very educated. You
Yep.
can figure it out, absolutely, okay? Because you have about $3,000 worth of savings. If, Corey, you lose your job, that's going to get you through, what, half of the month? And that's it.
I mean, that's reality.
I did notice that you all bought 2 cars within the last 2 years, I believe.
Like I had 3 different car accidents in the same year. One was legitimately my fault. One was a hit and run, and another one, we had a blowout.
And did you have a trucking accident?
Oh, the big accident. It was the beginning of our marriage.
Yeah, so it was about 9 years ago or so. I got hit with an 18-wheeler. I got pinned between 2 trailers. I was at the wrong spot, and I broke my arm, I think in 3 places, and the wrist was shattered.
Yeah. Part of his bicep was missing, complete graft. He was in ICU for 4 days.
6, 7 months I was off of work. A lot of debt built up quicker than our income could.
Yeah, this is really awful. I'm so sorry for them. And I just imagine the trauma of like his trauma of going through that, and then her trauma of, just, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen to my husband? That looked really rough, the hospital pictures. And so I really feel for them, and that's really awful. And I'm sure that 9 years later, they're probably still paying off medical expenses from that because that is how the medical system works in America. Um, and I'm really sorry for them, but I do think that this speaks to like just this combined little section of this episode where it says like you guys only have $300,000 in a savings account, and that is literally like half a month for you, combined with like, the more dangerous nature of his job, or the risky like nature of his job. Like they do really, really need to have like emergency savings put together in case anything happens, you lose a job, there's another accident, anything like that. Especially because they have children. Like, I mean, it's important for, single people with no children, no real health issues to have an emergency fund. It's even more important, in my opinion, that folks with children have it because, like, no matter what happens, you've got to take care of those babies. So yeah, I'm glad they're having this conversation of just like needing to have a plan, some savings, something like for anything that happens.
Does it worry you at all that if he were to get in an accident again, God forbid something even worse happened?
Yeah, we'd be totally screwed. We have less than a month and a half. I thought at least 2 months.
The solution is more income. And unfortunately, I don't have no other way to think of it. Right, I have nothing else.
Well, that's our homework. That's what I will help you all figure out. We will figure out ways for you all to make more income. I've been there. So I know how you're feeling. Except my situation was the reverse. I had the money. I didn't have the money management piece of it. But what I did was I started with small wins. I started with my credit card with the lowest balance. I think it may have had $200. I paid that off. So I was happy. I celebrated that win. That gave me the momentum to tackle the next credit card. And then it was the student loans and the car payment.
The snowball method is a debt reduction strategy where you pay off your debt by starting with the smallest amount that you owe. You pay the minimum for all of the credit cards except for the one with the smallest balance. You throw as much money at that one as you can. Once you pay that off, you roll that entire amount plus the extra into the next smallest debt. And you keep going until, like a snowball, you pay all of the debt off.
And within 18 months,
Yeah, so I have not fully tried this method in the way that she's describing. I usually just throw a lot of money at credit, like my debt, period. But let me know if you've tried this and how this worked for you. I imagine it would work pretty well because you basically would kind of like, keep yourself motivated by like paying off the small one and then a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So let me know if you've tried it and how it worked for you.
I paid off $40,000 worth of debt and increased my credit score to over 800. If I can do it, you can do it. You're just as capable as I am. It's 2 of y'all. There was just 1 of me. So we're gonna start with some small wins, all right?
Yeah, the small wins will definitely feel motivational.
Right, exactly. It'll give you that momentum and that push that you need to keep going, all right? I now know a lot more about what's behind the numbers and where I'll really need to push for change. My plan for Corey and Nina is to increase their income, reduce their debt, and build their savings. I really want them to have a safety net in the case of an emergency.
Yeah.
We are going to tackle all of this debt together.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
3, 2, 1. I just hear that money talking at me, got me, now I'm in a lock. Got me talking in my sleep, and boy, I sleep a lot.
Get in there. Get in there.
Suck.
Oh,
Trash.
That's why I made it. That's why I made it. Trash. What's with it, though?
How y'all feel, man? I'm all
Hey, man. Just the time to see him take this.
Look, can't get it up quite right.
Nah, you know, that's that ED.
Slip it.
That ED. Probably because you still owe me some money. You out here gambling. That's disrespect.
Corey, you had a long day today?
You know, man, I finally got to meet with the financial advisor, bruh.
What the advisor tell you?
Told me a lot, bruh. It way heavy. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Let's step to the back real quick.
Oh, wait a minute. We ain't even talking about the birds and the bees,
Look here, man. You don't know nothing about that with all 6 kids you got. I truly, before meeting that financial advisor, thought I made enough money to support my household. My pride is pretty diminished.
Yeah, I imagine it is. I mean, like I said, he's started to have some realizations that, the income winner is not winning enough income. And I think he came into this thinking that they maybe needed to like curb some spending and they'd be good. But he's having it's setting in. So yeah, I feel I feel bad for him.
But me and my friends are really close. They know all my vulnerabilities. They know all my insecurities. And I respect their opinion.
Oh, man.
What's going on, man?
The financial advisor, she borrowed money,
Right.
Rap, $10,000 bands, stacks. And she was like, this is what you make, boom, boom, boom. I was like, feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? We're doing pretty good. This how much you owe. I was like, what you mean, like futuristically? Like, nah, like right now. We thought we was doing this, that, and the third. Man, she like, nah, it's double that.
Oh,
Double
wow.
that. It just really hit hard, man.
Would you be willing to change? You know what I'm saying? Like, trucking ain't the only thing that you can do. We can get you somewhere.
Nina hit me with, well, why don't you try to go back into accounting? It was hard getting an accounting job when I was fresh out.
Yeah.
Now I got 10 years of irrelevant experience to try to find something else. And then I'm working 13, 14-hour days. I don't want to come home and do night classes. I want to come home, have me a drink, and sit down. And then you
Welcome
bring up
to adulthood, young buck.
He said, I don't want.
I said, I know it don't make sense.
Yeah, I like this. Like, he has really great friends in his corner because like they're listening to him, they're letting him vent, but then like he's kind of like licking his wounds right now, and they're like welcome to adulthood, and then his other friend is I don't want, so they're like a little bit calling him out on his stuff, like where he needs to just kind of like buck up, listen to the financial advisor, like she's right, there's more we could be doing, there's something else we could be doing, why don't we try that? So he's got really great friends in his corner because they're listening, but they are also calling him out on his stuff, and it's because they want him to do better, they want him to be better, so I really like that.
I know, it's like,
Corey, are you being selfish?
Ooh.
a little bit.
All right.
Yep.
A little bit.
All I hear is I.
Yes.
Because I'm the one talking. I'm the one talking, cuz.
But you want her to give her all. You have to give your all.
Yeah, again, like I just said, like super great friends. I mean, his friend now is telling him like, hey, like you are and like you need to be working as a team. And I cannot stress enough. Like I hope everybody has at least one friend that is like this in their lives, because like we all are gonna, we're not going to see situations for what they really are. We're going to be in our feelings. We're going to take things too personally. We're going to, there's going to be times where like we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And having somebody that's like kind of like, hey, I love you and I'm going to set you straight is really important. So we all either stay on the right path or we get back on the right path. So I really like this.
Even though they may say the same thing that Nina said, Nina may not be as honest with me because I'm a husband. But these gentlemen come from a place of right and wrong. Like, we don't go home with you. We ain't got no reason to cover it up for you.
Would we love you if we couldn't rebuke you?
Exactly. I'm with y'all when y'all right, man.
Listen to the advice. I've seen you do all types of hard stuff.
For real.
I know that you can do it.
Hey, y'all. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
All right. Today, Corey, we are putting you to the test. Yes. You mentioned that Nina cannot stick to a budget.
Okay.
You have the list, a $150 budget, and let's see if you can stick to it. We're gonna follow.
Ooh, I like this game because he came into this saying like, she's spending, I don't know where all my money's going, that sort of thing, and like he's not a part of the bill paying at all, or he's not a part of like presumably these everyday activities to make the household run. So I really like this because he's gonna see that like life is expensive now. Groceries are just plain expensive now in 2025 when this was filmed in 2026. So I really like this, and I really like am interested in seeing like what happens here.
Behind and see how it goes, all right? Corey thinks that Nina overspends on unnecessary items and there's no money left over for the things that he wants. And Nina thinks that Corey is clueless about how much it really costs to run a household. Today we're gonna find out who's right and who's wrong.
We do need noodles. Have they always cost as much? Have noodles gone up?
Everything has gone up.
Well, that is wild.
I guess we're going to get these instead of the baked beans. So
I mean, baked beans is just more further
down. Yeah.
It is so hard to like give control to somebody that I know they don't know what they're doing. Okay, I'll get it.
Right, am I missing it?
Boom.
Ah, great.
It's just faster for me to be able to do it.
Bacon!
Yeah, but you gotta let him do it because otherwise he's not gonna learn. So yeah.
God, one of the things I don't yield on is bacon. We'll be broke when we have bacon.
Corey, are you adding this up yet?
No.
I just want to pause that that stat. Hold on, I want to go back to it. Okay, it says the average grocery bill for a family of 4 in America in 2025 is $1,300, and that is like crazy. That's wild. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. So
Corey's not making any type of like, okay, now we're at 25, now we're at 100. Like he's not doing the mental math. This 2 for $2. He has no idea how much I penny pinched. I mean, it's the Price is Right every time.
$10. Has it always been $10?
This is clearly new territory for you.
I am shocked by the items in the store prices. I'm willing to substitute certain things, but I'm also certain things that I'm gonna get no matter how high I get. That's the great.
yep, and that is the problem for a lot of people is that they are gonna buy the thing they want, no matter how high it gets, no matter what the budget is, that sort of thing, and that is how you end up in more debt, more debt, more debt, more debt.
Have the beer.
I thought you were cutting back on the alcohol.
I am cutting back, but my friend's birthday this week.
All right.
I'm just,
He's in charge. Let him take the lead. I see a lot of things that are not on the list.
You know, sometimes the list ain't perfect.
We're getting close to that 150.
There's a ways to go here.
Oh my.
We haven't even hit the meat yet.
Oh my.
We're almost at $200.
Your total is gonna be $208.61.
Things are definitely.
All right, so he threw a bunch of things in the cart and got up to $208.61.
A little bit more expensive than what I thought it was.
Just factor that in, how great of a job Nina is actually doing at managing the budget. Feeding a family of 4 on $150 is actually phenomenal.
It is. I see that more now.
At least Corey and Nina pay cash for their groceries. They're doing that right. The reason that I advise clients to pay cash for their groceries is because if they put it on their credit cards and do not pay it off immediately, which most don't, they end up paying 2 to 3 times more for those groceries because of the interest. That means.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because, and also I think a thing that can help is some people, like if you have the cash in your hand, you spend it, it's gone. It just means the money's gone. Because some folks, when they use cards, they don't take into account like it's easy to just swipe and like not pay attention to a limit on a credit card or how much you've got in your debit card. So it's easy to go over it because you're not like over your limit because it's not like right in front of you.
Any items that they got on sale weren't much of a discount after all. All right, Corey, you have $150. So now we are going to play a game called Splurge or Save. You have to figure out what items you're going to keep and what will go back. Are you ready?
Everything's necessary.
All right, let's start here. What about the Apple Jacks?
Do the kids love Apple Jacks this much?
You love Apple Jacks.
Splurge?
I can give them my Apple Jacks.
Okay.
I give my Apple Jacks.
Can you take this?
That wasn't even that hard.
Where's the alcohol? Okay. Splurge or save?
I'm conflicted, man. I'm conflicted.
Are you?
Can you take this off?
Yeah, sure.
179.
All right, okay.
Guess I'll take off my soda.
The soda.
Wow, I just want to say like alcohol is like pretty expensive. I don't drink, so I don't really keep up with the prices, but like a box of I don't know how many, like it was 22.89. That's a lot of money. Okay.
All right.
I really want my alcohol. I'll put back the energy drink.
You'll put back the energy drinks, get your alcohol. Boom.
Good job.
It's shocking because it's the little things and so many little things add up. Who knew me enjoying this particular item will blow my budget?
Yeah, and I think like that was the point of this exercise was like to get him to understand that like things are expensive. It is very hard to stay on a budget when you're talking about specifically food because you've got to eat anyway, regardless of what things cost, but also like I think the little like mental gymnastics he was doing at the checkout counter of like what to get rid of and what to keep, that sort of thing was good for him because he can see that like she's got to do stuff like that on a daily basis, and I'm sure that she's gotten really good at it so she can kind of like really quickly make those decisions or not get to the checkout line and make those decisions, but like because they are on such a tight rope here, like it is very hard for her to probably to like get groceries under a certain budget. So I'm glad that he can see kind of like where she's at and what she's dealing with.
I respect the job my wife has always done with the money, but now knowing and realizing that I'm not providing as much as I thought I was for her to make her job easier is the eye-opener.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't pick up nothing else.
Do you have an idea of why we're here?
No.
I am here to paint a financial picture for you, okay? Knowing what I know now about Corey and Nina's finances and the number of accidents that Corey's had, I'm really concerned about their ability to manage an unexpected catastrophe. Mother to mother, I just really want to have a conversation with Nina without Corey to figure out what she would do if the worst were to happen. I brought you specifically to a scrapyard because Corey's been in 3 accidents. You are 1 medical emergency, 1 job loss away from financial ruin. And I'm not wishing that energy on you.
Absolutely
but
not.
What if it had turned out differently? What would you do?
Emotionally, I can't go there because I'll never get out of bed. I've been with the same man for 16 years, 19 years old, both growing up together. Raised him, I feel like myself. And he's so much a part of me. And to know I could not see him tomorrow, it's earth-shattering. All I can do is pray that he comes home.
Yeah, that is really that's really sad to hear. And that's why it's important for them to have a plan.
It's about protection, right?
Absolutely.
It's about having a real solid contingency plan in case something bad does happen. Because when life gets hard, you all cannot afford to be crushed. All right, let's bring Corey in, okay?
Okay. I know we're in a tough bind, and this could definitely be us of being crushed with 1 lost job or if something happened to him on the road.
I do just want to say that I think it's very sweet. You can see that they do really love each other. Because like, you know, they grabbed him into this scene and he's like reaching for his wife and then she's like talking about like not even being able to really get out of bed just thinking about like if something happened to him, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and that's all. But that's all I wanted to say about that. But like yeah, I just really like that.
Can you share with Corey some of what you shared with me?
With the 3 accidents in 2 years, if you were gone, like, we would shatter.
But at the end of the day, I'm still here. You know, so that's what I want you to more so focus on. Not the shoulda, woulda, couldas, because they didn't.
So what's the plan, right? So we always hope for the best.
Plan for the worst.
But plan for the worst. And so that was the whole point of this exercise, is to help you come up with a solid contingency plan. Are you okay?
It's a deep breath on it, because you don't want to go there. You don't want to think about the worst.
I mean, I have a 4-year-old daughter. One of the first things that I did when she was born was get life insurance and an estate plan. I always encourage self-employed clients like Corey to have a variety of insurance and not just the basic medical insurance. I recommend disability insurance, and that basically covers you in the event of sickness. The insurance will pay a portion of your income. I also recommend hospital indemnity insurance, and basically that insurance covers you if you're hospitalized. So you get a lump sum per day that you're in the hospital. I had this, fortunately, when I delivered my daughter early. She was in the NICU for 2 weeks, and I walked away with about $8,000, which paid my lost income. It's important to safeguard your most valuable asset, which is your ability to earn an income.
My contingency.
Yeah, I think like you know, I don't really know much about insurance, so we'll just take whatever she said about insurance with a grain of salt. But I do like that they're covering this in this episode, because it is super, super important that you have a plan if you have children, of like what to do if something happens to one parent. If you know, just planning, like, because like I said, it is, at the end of the day, it is just really important that those babies are taken care of no matter what happens. So I really like that they're covering this in this episode so heavily.
The plan will be the life insurance policy, downsize the house, and that should buy us time enough to be able to create a different source of income.
What can you rely on? Can you rely on your part-time income if something were to happen to him?
I would have to go full-time.
So I'm thinking something that has to do with your major, right? You're a business management major?
To go into management, that's extra stress with 2 kids.
But as a parent, you have to do what you have to do.
For me to get a job in business management after I've been out for 7 years, it's the same thing of like him having to draw at square one for accountancy because he doesn't have the credentials anymore.
Didn't you just get a certification that I paid for?
But I just got that. But
so
beforehand,
ain't that a little bit more current? Did you say May of this year?
Do you know how many free courses it is to be a personal bookkeeper? You can make the same amount that you're making now, and you could be freelance. But you wouldn't know the research to be able to make that happen.
Why wouldn't I know that? Why wouldn't I know that?
You have Saturdays and Sundays, honey. I don't know why you wouldn't.
No, that's fair.
It's because we're making a lot of excuses on both ends. In both situations, we're making a lot of excuses. And we just got to put our big boy britches on and our big girl britches on and just do what needs to be done. That is it. Moving on.
This is something that really drives the point home for me. In the past year, 23% of Americans have had a financial catastrophe. I just don't want you to be a part of that 23%, okay? I still don't think that they're really getting it. As a parent, you have to do what you have to do to take care of your kids. And I cannot imagine being this nonchalant and reckless about their financial future.
Can you feel the rhythm like 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3.
Hey. Roll.
What's going on? What's going on?
What is good with the peeps?
Hi, Andre.
Hey, what's going on?
After speaking with Leah, she gave us a lot to think about. Unfortunately, we're at an impasse.
Me and Leah decided to bring in reinforcements. You know, put our heads together, some people we really trust to talk it out with.
This is my older sister, so I'm the baby.
She just came back from Japan.
It's China,
It was China.
We decided to come back to Texas because Nina was like, hey, we can be each other's village. You know, my son is 5, her girl is 6 and 7. So, like, perfect.
I'm just glad that you're finally here.
All that emotion.
How was meeting the financial advisor?
Emotionally exhausting, honestly.
I don't make enough money compared to the expenses.
The reality is that we're on our last leg and that we may not have the catch up that usually people have. Like, we need a new roof, you know, if he lost his job, if he died tomorrow, you know, like, we don't have that fallback as much as we should have.
And then she said something that I think Nina needs to speak on a little bit more about. How do you have a one-income household with 2 capable adults, but it all falls on his shoulders? But then you complain about the life you have financially, but aren't contributing financially. Are you willing to do other jobs? Are you willing to do
What we're not gonna do is that.
Mom and dad.
What we're not gonna do is that.
It's cool.
Can I go to my room?
What we're not gonna do
It's cool.
is make it seem like I don't contribute.
I'm not saying you don't
No,
contribute.
you gonna sit here and you gonna take it and you gonna watch it and
Go to
witness.
my room on
Woo. This is the easy math. If I make $40 an hour, right, and Nina gets a job that makes 20, that allows me to cut back on the amount of work I do, because my 40 an hour job requires me to spend so much time away from home. It takes away my availability. So if she ends up taking off some of the financial burden off me, I can take some of that home stuff off her.
I understand that.
Hold on. So you feel that her working will have you work less? Is
Correct.
So you working less hours, then that's less money. So it's like, okay, well, we're going backwards than what our goal is. Her
The math-
money.
Yes, that's what I was shaking my head for, is that they are in so much debt right now, along with wanting to do so many financial goals, that he needs to either like find a job making more money so he can work that allows for less hours, or he continues to work the same amount of hours in the same job and she gets another job to supplement the income. But what he's saying is like going backwards so he can work less is not going to help them, just like Nina's sister said. So there's a lot of like, it just feels like there's a lot of like selfish thought here on both parties of like not really working together as a team and not being on the same page, and kind of like, how can I better my own situation but not better the situation of the family? So yeah, I'm glad she called that out.
To be added to that.
I get you.
Unless you're willing to pivot.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
How
come
long
through.
can my past hold me back when we can't even see the future
Don't
no more,
amen
sister?
him. Don't amen him.
I said I was wrong. I got some realization. We coming up with some plans that ain't took into effect yet.
In his name, in his name.
Right, we ain't took
in
into
his
effect
name.
yet.
Corey's
But I'm
favorite
working
thing
on it.
is I need time. What's wrong with right now? He's been talking for years about getting out of trucking.
What are your goals?
To be financially stable.
Okay, so what does that look like? How do I measure that and what time is on that? You know, like I spoke to Nina and she says, hey, in 5 years, like I want a bigger home. Like she wants more space, right? The kids want a bigger backyard and things like that. So it's like, okay, if that is her goal, that needs to be your goal. And how do you reach that in 5 years?
Okay.
Once you have that goal, you're gonna sacrifice. You're like, hey, we're gonna grind for
the
these
next
2
6
years.
months, 2
Absolutely.
years,
The
whatever.
sacrifice I'm making won't change. That's a conversation for.
Yeah, I said before when he was just talking to his friends at the bar, like I feel like they have a great like set of friends and of course family around them that is just willing to kind of like listen to them, hear them out, call them out on their stuff, and really try to help guide them in the right direction. And again, I just really hope that everybody has at least one person in their life that is like this, because I think they have such a great group of people around them. So yeah.
Nina, because she's the one getting the job.
Yeah.
I'm continuing with my 16-hour days that I've been doing.
So
Yeah.
think about it just a little bit. We can make smart goals, but if y'all are gonna keep bucking heads about availability and hours, that don't work no way.
Yes.
You know the 16 hours ain't viable. Sounds like the job don't work.
I do understand the willingness that I need to be able to like find aftercare and the very pitfalls that keep me from going back to work fully. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. I know I need to dig into that and kind of like let go and let God on that one.
I am happy to help you in any way that I can. If I need to take the children half of the week so that you can, work, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you get to where you can in any aspect that I can.
I knew you was my people. I knew it. I knew it when I saw it.
That takes honestly a
man.
lot off the plate of it because it's like $300 a week to be able to do 5 days of working. So even half the week would be tremendous.
Yes, I got you, girl.
My sister offering
Yeah, I really like that, and I think the lesson to take from like this interaction here is that they met with their village, their group of people that they feel like they have. They explained the situation and they got some advice. Someone called them out on their stuff and was like, "No, like you need to do what the financial advisor is saying. Like you're being like a little silly right now." And then she was explaining, this big problem with the child, like, needing to find a job, but like the childcare. And then her sister just jumped in and said, like, well, I'll help you like a few days a week. And so the thing I think we need to take from this is that, some people do not have a village like this, but for us who do, for those who do, just feel like understanding that you do not have to do everything completely on your own. And like she explained the problem she was having, and someone offered her a super, super helpful solution. And so all she did was just basically say, this is my problem, and indirectly ask for help. She didn't even need to like full on ask. But if we just go to the people that love us and that we love, and we just say, can you please help me figure out a solution to this situation? You'd be surprised how many people are willing to just like offer up some help. And of course, this doesn't apply to everybody. Not everybody has a big village that can help with these things. But some of us have a village and don't realize or don't utilize the village enough that we have. And that being said, if you're going to use the village, you also have to be the village too. So when other people need help, you need to help them as well, when you can and how you can. But I think like the big lesson from this is that she just like pretty much was like, I'm having this problem, and they indirectly asked for help and they got it. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And I think that's a beautiful thing that her sister just went and was like, yeah, I'm here to help. How can I help?
To help with childcare is the biggest relief because I know she's gonna take care of my kids just like I would. And to be frank, that's the real biggest hurdle of actually going outside to get a job.
Now it's up to us to find the career opportunities for us to reach our goals.
No pressure.
Thank you for coming in today. It's been a few weeks since I've spoken to Corey and Nina, and it did not seem like they were taking their finances seriously enough. How are things going?
Hey, girl, hey.
Hi.
Hey, Leah, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming in today.
Oh, it's my pleasure as always.
Yes. It's been a few weeks since I've spoken to Corey and Nina, and it did not seem like they were taking their finances seriously enough. So I really hope that they thought about what I've told them and employed some of the strategies that we discussed. So tell me, how are things going? Are there any updates?
I think we did make some progress, and we kind of put our emotions aside a bit and looked at logistics. So
it was very difficult at first, but after me personally committing it to it being a we, it's not just a her, it's not just a me, but it's us together. You feel almost reconnected us.
I'm glad to hear that. So have there been any small wins, any big wins?
My sister has offered us childcare half the week.
I love that for you. It's great to have a community.
Yeah.
Right?
It's great to have a village.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very picky about who watches
I am too.
my kids. So sister helping out, coming in the clutch, opens up me to make the hard decision to say I can't go straight into the career I thought I was gonna go into.
What type of work are you looking at?
Right now I'm looking into healthcare, but entry-level positions.
That's awesome. What about you, Corey?
I did recently, with the guidance of my wife, broaden myself open to apply for jobs that actually would somewhat require my degree and show my transferable skills. And I was able to actually get hired on.
I am so proud of you. That is awesome news. What will you be doing?
Pretty much be a driver manager.
Okay.
So my job is to make sure they're maximizing their miles, staying on top of their regulations. Long story short, I'm making sure they make good money so they can make me good money.
Okay. And is it about the same salary?
It's about the same salary,
okay,
but less hours.
Okay.
Yes.
So really, if it's the same pay and less hours, if you break it down hourly, it really is a pay increase.
Yes,
absolutely.
I can be home more, and I now look around and see.
That is super cool. They finally like buckled down and just like listened, and this is really exciting. It's also great to hear him say that it's not like a me, it's now a we, because I think that was a huge problem for them was that they weren't communicating. It was very like, well, a little bit like pointing the finger, like, well, she's doing this, and well, he doesn't understand anything, and they've communicated, and now they're like a team, and that I think was a huge part of the issue. So that's fantastic.
What I can do that she possibly couldn't get to instead of waiting for her to get to it. And then by us having that set schedule, she has those opportunities to go have those girls' nights that she may want, or able to tell a potential employer, yes, I have a set schedule that I can be at because I don't have to worry
Right.
about my kids.
Absolutely.
It's a relieving feeling, and it makes me feel more involved.
I love that.
I hate that it took 4 people to tell him what I've been saying, but I'm overjoyed. Because A, I was right, and B, it's beneficial to our family. He can actually put the kids down. He can actually have dinner with us.
Yay.
And I get to see him in some khakis and a good shirt, you know, so I'm excited.
I'm trying to contain it because I don't want to do the Tom Cruise and hop on your chairs. There's a growth potential to like almost 200K. So if that hits the way it's supposed to hit, you know, I could be able to turn that table that you scarred in my head around.
200K plus
Yes.
maybe a new job for you. That's awesome. That is
Yes,
amazing.
I feel like it was hard going through this process, but I think it brought us together to be able to say we need to be more of a team in the finances and not just Nina taking it all on. So
Yeah, that's super cool that he found a job that there's like all this upward mobility with. And I think that's something that we should look into as we're looking for jobs. Us at home should look at, because that's fantastic. That's huge opportunity there to make up to $200,000. That's so cool.
I'm happy I can actually have a conversation on the same wavelength now.
If you can communicate about money, you can communicate about almost anything, right?
Yes, so I didn't call you, but I'm glad that he did.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna cry, you're gonna cry.
Y'all had me a little worried for a while, but y'all came through. And y'all did even better than I could have imagined. Congratulations. I'm so happy for y'all. I'm so proud of you. I'm pleasantly surprised by Corey and Nina's wins. Corey's already found a new job, and Nina is eliminating her largest employment barrier and expanding her job search. They're making huge steps to increase their income. They are managing their monthly expenses together, and most importantly, they're communicating about money. So sexy. Bring it in. Give me a hug.
Thank you so
I'm proud of you. Money conversations are hard, but they're healthy. Sometimes you just need an objective third party to weigh in when you disagree. Talk to people who have been there and successfully navigated their way through.
Okay, now come feed me.
As long as it's within budget.
I like that he said that. I know he was probably playing, but like that thought process of like as long as it's in budget and hopefully he means it, it will really help them move forward. So really love that. That is it's funny.
You don't have to be stuck in a financial situation when there are options out there. Your money story is yours to rewrite.
All right, so they have a little screen at the end, so in case you're listening while you're doing something else, it says Corey is doing well in his new position. Nina is fielding several job offers, and then together they are using the snowball method to pay down their debt. So it's super cool.
Next time.
All right, so that is all I have for you today. So if you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe and help me grow my channel. If you wanted to support the channel, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee. The link will be in the description. Thanks in advance if you do. But yeah, let me know how you like this video. I usually do TikTok reactions, so they're a lot shorter videos, and of course just me reacting to some short TikToks. So this is a longer one, a little bit different than what I have been doing. So if you like it, let me know. I had a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.